everyone, and welcome back to Under SF Curiosity. I'm Becca.
And I'm Sam. In today's episode, we are curious about the impact that the organization known as the Asian Pacific Islander Culture Center, or APIC, has on our community. We will take a closer look at what the organization's motives are, why they do what they do, and how they do it. The organization focuses on promoting the artistic growth of San Francisco's Asian Pacific Islander community.
Every year, APIC holds a festival showcasing the performers of the individuals that make up the community. But before we dive deeper into the organization's call to action, I want to take a moment to highlight something special about today.
Oh my, are you finally getting paid today?
We don't get paid, Sam.
Oh, well, then what is it, Becca?
Today's episode is the season finale of Under SF Curiosity.
What? Oh, I totally forgot about it. It's been such a pleasure hosting this show for you all that I lost track of how many shows were left in this season.
I agree. The season of Under SF has been truly remarkable. What was one of your favorite moments of the season, Sam?
Going to the organizations and hearing all the inspiring stories and also making friends with all of you.
Aw, friendships forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you?
I really liked last week where we stuck our hands in the box and felt the weird items. That was really fun for me.
Do you remember the weird head?
Yeah, that was so crazy.
Yeah.
Some of them were gross, but it was all fun. It was cool.
It was fun, yeah.
Overall, we've had some exciting moments on the set of Under SF, and we're excited to share with you today our season finale.
Before we take a break, let's look at an experience Becca had on a trip outside of the studio and find out what some students think about the representation of their culture in their San Francisco communities.
I'm not trying to be the shameful one in the family, you know? So I have to also preserve that culture, yeah.
Hi, I'm Becca, and we're here at the SF campus, and today we'll be talking to students about what it means to preserve their own culture.
Well, I think culture, in a sense, is very important, especially in this time and age, because here in America, we're just like a melting pot of different culture in itself.
So, well, I don't really have a set definition on what culture means to me, but it's just my family background and how I would grow up. So for Asian families, we would have a strict culture where we would have to be good students, have a bright future, and just do anything that makes the family look better.
How I keep in touch with my culture is mostly with food, and so that has been passed down from my parents, and then I have most of my family members still in El Salvador, but I was born here. So I feel that the more you're more in tune with like where your country of origin is, or if you immigrated from here, it's important to keep those values because that's what makes America what it is a beautiful community of different cultures that you can learn from one another. So that's why I feel it's really important for that to share with others.
Like the Bay Area has a lot of like diversity, I would say, because I also lived in Seattle, Washington. And there wasn't a lot of like Hispanic community there. It was more like a white population. But I feel like in the Bay Area, like there's more of that like culture like developed here. So yeah.
Well, first I'm Filipino. I have a Filipino heritage, and I guess what my culture means to me. It's very important, of course. I mean, like it's definitely like the one thing guiding all my morals, my values, and everything. It's had a huge impact on who I am right now. And in terms of like preserving it, it's obviously going to be really important because, it's like these are the values and these are the morals you're going to live by.
Every year we have the Lunar New Year and we celebrate it in a way that is known to the Vietnamese culture. So we'll pray at home or either go to a temple, and then we'll have fireworks and dragons and all the lion dance. And if we go really big in the cities that are primarily Vietnamese, such as San Jose or Vietnam Town.
We love it when people partake in our culture. Like I remember back when I was in the Philippines, they normally have like people coming in from either the United States, some places in Europe. They'd like have them on TV. They'd say like phrases like "mabuhay," and it's always like really cool because it's a very welcoming, very like family-oriented culture too. And yeah, it's a very warm, friendly, loving culture.
It was so unique to talk to everyone and hear their stories about how culture is so important to them. And it was beautiful to hear about the rich heritage that everyone comes from, and I'm excited to learn more.
There's a lot of fear in coming back to school. I'm a 40-year-old man that walked in there to get his high school diploma.
It was very hard for me, but one of the teachers was Miss Araceli. She gave me direction. Every single time I had a question, she'll put down whatever she's doing and she'll sit there with you until you get it. 50% of getting your high school diploma is walking through those doors. The other 50% is doing the work.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Growing up where I did, a lot of things could have gotten in the way of my goals, but I learned to push through, and that's what I bring to work every day.
They'll test you, try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
There were quite a few students who really felt connected to their culture, but also some felt that certain aspects of their culture could be better represented in their communities. Today, we will be focusing on Asians and Pacific Islanders, and according to Pew Research Center, there are more than 18 million Asian Americans in the United States, which makes up over 5% of the population.
And although Asian Americans are recognized for their strides in education and career advancement, they still fail to be recognized by their individual identities in mainstream American media. Also, did you know that the term model minority is actually harmful towards Asians in America?
Yes, I understand this, but I think it's really important that we let other people know so they can understand too.
Yes, the model minority term was coined by sociologist William Peterson in 1966. Even though the term can be used in a positive connotation in present day, the term can limit Asians and Pacific Islanders to stereotypes that are still perpetrated today, such as the stereotypes that all Asians are intelligent and aims to work hard to overcome all odds. If you want to learn more about the history of the model minority term, please click the video link in the description below.
I'm glad that you brought this perspective up, Sam. This will definitely help us understand the modern struggles of the Asian and Pacific Islander youth. With that being said, one special organization has been making strides to help change how their culture is represented in the Bay Area.
The Asian Pacific Islander Culture Center has been showcasing their community's talent for years now, and it doesn't look like they're stopping anytime soon. Now let's take a closer look at APIC as I speak to Laura Paul, the Office and Communications Manager of APIC, and how they strive to represent their culture. Hi, I'm Sam Shah. We are out here at the Soma Arts Culture Center, the home of EPIC. Today we'll be joined by Laura Paul, the Office and Communications Manager.
The Asian Pacific Islander Cultural Center, or APIC, is one of 6 cultural centers of San Francisco. We're housed here inside Soma Arts Cultural Center, another cultural center of San Francisco. Our mission is to support and present the works of multidisciplinary artists reflecting the experiences of Asian American Pacific Islanders in the United States. As the Office and Communications Manager at APIC, my role is pretty diverse. It ranges from doing a lot of bookkeeping and invoices and admin work to doing a lot of social media and promoting our organization and the programs that we produce every year on social media, on marketing, community outreach, various methods like that. It all tends to roll up or amp up around springtime, and that's when we produce our annual festival, the United States of Asian America Festival. In that festival, we present about 15 works throughout San Francisco, again, reflecting the experiences of Asian American Pacific Islanders. The festival happens every year around May and June. This year, we're opening on May 3rd with our visual art exhibition, Betweenscapes. Betweenscapes this year is our visual art exhibition. Every year, we feature a month-long visual art exhibition, again supporting and presenting the works of Asian American Pacific Islander artists. This year, Betweenscapes revolves around the ideas of transsectionality, colonialism, diaspora, and other issues about identity and how that's reflected in visual art. The United States of Asian America Festival, or USOF, has a theme every year. This year's theme is regenerative community. Basically what regenerative community means and what that revolves around is the idea of how do we heal ourselves as a community, specifically as communities of color, communities who have been marginalized and have experienced trauma. How do we address issues of healing, of regenerating ourselves and our community and being in solidarity with one another? All of the programming that we have this year reflects upon or touches upon those ideas. For our festival, and I think for a lot of the artists that participate in our festival, it's very important to represent the identity of Asian American Pacific Islanders in the arts and even in broader media. Again, as communities who have been marginalized and have been seen as other or less than, it's very important for us to see ourselves and to put ourselves and to tell our own stories, to make sure that we reflect and represent value, the value of our identities, the value of our people, the value of our culture in broader society. I think that's really the underlying theme and the underlying mission of a lot of the program and a lot of the artists that we feature. Right now, our immediate plans is to get through festival, running now from May through June. So if you have any gaps in your weekend schedule, definitely check us out. Once we're done with festival and we take a little break, we start the process all over again. This year, we've actually implemented a lot of changes into our festival. We're focusing on fewer events, but hopefully that means that we're able to support them and have better quality events as well. Next year, we're really just trying to build off of that, open our call for submissions for more artists and more events in the fall, and do it all again in May. My favorite thing about working at APIC is the people and the community that I work with. Not only are my coworkers, not just my coworkers, but they're also my friends. And even a lot of the artists that we work with, a lot of them I consider my friends as well. We're a very tight-knit community. Once you know somebody, chances are you know everybody else. Because we're all there trying to fulfill the same mission, trying to fulfill the same values through art and storytelling. And there's something really very cool and very beautiful about that. So that's my favorite thing about working with APIC.
Well, that about wraps it up. Thank you so much for joining us at the very home of APIC. I'll see you in the studio.
APIC is so cool. It was awesome to see Sam speak to Laura and learn about her role within the organization. They have such a beautiful way of expressing their art, and as you saw, a very beautiful area to perform in. Right now, I have the pleasure to speak with Melanie Elvena, the artistic director of APIC. Hello, Melanie. Thanks for being here.
Hi, Becca. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's so fun that you came down. So to start things off, how did you get involved in the organization?
So when I was in college, I actually was an art history major, and I always knew that I wanted to work in the arts. So I spent a year basically just interning at any place that would have me. I was doing like helping out with art shows, helping it plan events. And eventually APIC was hiring for actually a festival coordinator since we do the festival every year. And so I applied and they gave me the position. However, that year their artistic director had left for a performing studies program at Stanford. And so they were like, hey, we need an artistic director. Do you want to, try it out? And I was like, I don't know what that means, but sure. And so I kind of came in on the role, and that was in 2014, and I've been with them ever since.
Wow, and you just stepped in, you're doing it?
Yeah,
and
I was just like, sure, let me see what I can do here.
That's great. So what is your mission as an organization?
So our mission is to produce and promote art that reflects the unique experiences of Asians and Pacific Islanders living in the United States.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So what is, in your position, what do you experience daily?
So on the daily, I'm always talking to artists, especially the festival is our biggest event every year. So I spend a lot of time talking to artists and saying, hey, can we work on something? Can you perform for us during the festival? Are you doing anything around May, June time? And I kind of just do a lot of like studio visits too, and just I go to a lot of shows. It's a really fun position because I get to sort of experience all the art that's happening within the community, and then in my head I'm like sort of collecting them, like, oh, this would be good for like later, or oh, maybe I can work with this choreographer on something for the festival next year. And so a lot of it's just me talking to a bunch of artists, which is really fun for me, so I quite enjoy it.
That sounds super fun. That sounds so cool, and I'm sure there's so much like variety in all of that as well.
Yeah, like the organization is multidisciplinary, so we have artists who do visual art, we have people who do dance, theater, you name it, we have an artist who does it.
Wow, that's really awesome. That's so cool and so inspiring. I can tell like you're so dedicated and you love what you do, so that's great. How did APIC start exactly?
So we started in 1996. We were actually formed by 5 different smaller Asian American arts nonprofits. A couple ones that you'll probably hear about is Kearney Street Workshop was one of them. There's also Asian American Dance Performances, Asian American Theater Company, and a couple more. And so they sort of came together and we put on this festival. And ever since then, it's just been like every May we put on like a bunch of different events all around the city.
Wow.
And then in, I think it was, 98 was when we really just formed as like our own nonprofit.
So lastly, before we go, why do you believe that it's important to preserve culture?
I think culture gets, I think it's a really important thing within society. It kind of sets humans apart from any other species, and it's really important that we do preserve that, the arts, language, all of that. It's really important. It tells us not only about our history, but it tells us about who we are today and possibly where we're going in the future. And so preserving culture, I think, is should be priority.
Yeah, it's so important. And I love how irreplaceable and timeless a person's culture is to themselves. So it's important that we highlight that.
Yeah, and culture totally just, makes us more empathetic to each other too. Because our experiences, we're all connected in some sort of way. And sometimes you might see something and be like, hey, I relate to that. And so for me, culture is really that playing field where it's sort of even and everyone can sort of have discussions about certain things. You might see an art piece and want to talk about it, and maybe it'll bring up some other experiences, and it's kind of like a barrier to it kind of takes away some of those barriers to entry when you're trying to have a conversation with somebody. And so I think experiencing culture together is something that really is a special thing.
And a great way to connect with others. If anything, it's a conversation starter.
Totally.
And just to get on that deeper level.
Yes, definitely.
Wow. I think it's so important to highlight that. That's amazing. So thank you so much for being here, and I love talking with you and learning all about APIC. So thank you.
Thanks.
Don't go anywhere, folks. We have 2 wonderful performances by Rudy Calma and Andrew Arolfo. You won't want to miss it.
Hey, you.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education, what are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else?
Or will you dare do something different?
Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills. The smarts.
Yes, you.
You could be the teacher I never forget.
That'd be cool.
Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself?
What are you gonna make of me? Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise. And be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
Hello everyone and welcome back. We have two very special guests with us today. Our first guest is part of the Asian American hip hop show Epicenter. So Rudy, tell us a little bit more about yourself and why you do what you do.
So I go by Rudy Kama. I represent the Rogue Wave Collective. That's the squad right there. I was born in the Philippines, came here when I was around 6 years old. Started writing music in high school around my senior year, and since then, it's just pretty much been developing and growing from there.
Exciting. Do you have any upcoming shows that you would like to tell us about?
I got this show at Bottom of the Hill, May 19th. It's featuring Ruby Ibarra, Lex the Lexicon artist, and Chow Mein, and myself, so it'll be cool.
Wow.
Show starts at 9, doors open 8:30.
That sounds really exciting. So without further ado, folks, here's Rudy Kama.
Mic check, mic check. My name is Rudy Kama, representing the Rogue Wave Collective. This is California Genesis. Hey. Yeah, landing on this earth, the beginning of my verse. Since a young child, I've been grappling my curse. Gravel on my shirt, it's that Filipino dirt. Mama took me out to fly to California earth. Still I went to church, cause my titas love the word. My uncle was a priest and his homily superb. This before I sat and wrote my own and sipped the milk to grow the bones. Before the quill took all my ills and healed the nerves. Dudes who rock your bows, Kobe rockin' 24. FM radio, the bone, Laffy Taffy, Rolling Stone. Southern music had the throne, Monte Ellis was the pro. Simply uniforms, khaki slice was just a no. Daily city in the soul, fundamentals of my pros. Parents had devotion, my pops was sipping loads. Slipping on the slope, but I'm chilling on the coast. California coast, this that California flow. And that's California for ya. Everybody in your city, wave, hey. Every city, very different wave, hey. I'ma hit up every city, that's California for ya. Everybody in your city, wave, hey. Every city, very different wave. Rock, rock. I'ma hit up every city. California coast, but I don't know how to float, let alone know how to stroke. Doggy paddling the most. Flowing on the low, pen and paddling I row. Mastering the flow over rapids I uphold. The foundation of Cano, I never tipping over. To the mission I would go. Bought the 24 I wrote. Many quotes, but I was so-so. Joey let me vibe. Exhilarating ride in debilitating time. Accumulating rhyme, filling up my vacant mind. Chasing the divine that was hurt from my divide. Renovate my shine as I regulate my pride. Open up my eye that could open up the sky. It's that good labor, the labor of love. Thank the above for the flavors and such. It's rude boy from the ash and the cyclical dust. Keep it a buck, mom. Is you feeling the bump? Cause that's California for ya. Everybody in your city, wave, hey. Every city, very different wave, huh? I'ma hit up every city, that's California for ya. Everybody in your city, wave. Every city, very different wave, I'ma hit up every city stage. Yeah, once again, my name is Rudy Kama, representing the Rogue Wave Collective. Labor of Love, EP out now, Spotify, iTunes, wherever. Peace.
Check mo yung email mo. That was crazy fun. Now for something a bit different, our second guest is part of the stand-up comedy show Model Minorities Don't Cry. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Andrew.
My name is Andrew Rolfo. I'm a stand-up comedian. I've been doing it About 6 years now, and I started off a dare, and I'm still here.
That's a great story of how you got into that. That's awesome.
It's all right. It's really good.
All right, well, without further ado, take it away.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, this was the first one. I'm pretty sure this was good. Nothing happened before this. That was cool. I feel good. I recently just came up on a brand new car straight off the lot. Thank you. Yeah. It's a 2018, and finances are a little bit tight now, but it's okay because no more hand crank for your boy. Power windows, baby. Yeah. But when I bought this car, I was talking to the dealer, and he'd asked me a bunch of unnecessary questions, and he was like, hey, are you going to do a lot of commuting in this car? And I was like, yeah, I'm going to do a lot. And then he asked, well, what do you do? And I told him, I was like, well, at night, I do stand-up comedy. And then he goes, that's crazy because I'm a Bruno Mars cover singer. I was like, that's different. That's so different. I don't know why he said that. I really don't. I don't know if he said that because he was like, oh, that's cool, we're both artists, right? Or, oh, that sucks, we're both not making it. That's the vibe I got from that dude. But I'm in a good mood because I've reached a personal goal for me this year. Like, I don't know where y'all at in your lives, but I just got to the point in my life to where I can finally take my dad in a fight. Is anybody there? Who's there? Get there. Get there. It feels good because my whole life I've spent, waking up in the mornings, taking a look at my dad and be like, is today the day? Is it today? And I'd be like, nah. And I go back in my room and carve a tally on my wall, just count the days. And I'm there and it feels good, because if you can get your dad to hug you, that's pretty good. But also, if you could get him to flinch, that's pretty good too. But I'm there, and I think I'm there for a few reasons. Like one, I lift weights, he doesn't, and two, he's in a wheelchair and I'm not. But also, no, just kidding. I'm just kidding. He can walk totally fine for now. Just don't mess with me, right? And I think I can take him right now because he recently just came up on those transition glasses. Do you know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking? Not the flip-ups, the ones that change shade depending on your surroundings. Like the worst superpower you could achieve. He got those, and he was so excited about it. To the point where he comes up to me a few weeks ago, he was like, hey, Drew, check out what I just got. And I was like, oh, the time is now. The time is right now. I could totally take my dad. And don't worry, I wouldn't fight him. But it's just because those glasses are ridiculous to me. Like, I don't know if anybody in this room has them. If you do, don't tell me. I don't respect you. You know what I mean? But my thing is, if you do have those glasses, just please let me know that you're wearing them before you start talking to me, right? Because I was recently talking to my dad, and they changed mid-conversation, and I've never felt so disrespected in my life, Because we were going from inside to outside, and then they started to change. So I sped up my sentence because I felt like I was running out of time. Does that ever happen to you? Your dad literally throws shade at you. It's not a good feeling. And that's my time. Thank you so much. That's 3 minutes, right? Cool. Yeah. Thank you.
Wow, what an incredible performance by Rudy and Andrew.
I loved it. Say, Becca, I used to be quite the comedian myself a few years back.
Oh, no.
What did the rubber band factory worker say when he was fired?
Last night I took an L, but tonight I bounced back.
Oh, snap.
Was that it? Did I get it right?
No, snap was the answer.
Oh, well, that elasticated quickly.
If only we could continue to stretch it out.
Oh, wow. No pun intended, right?
Always, Becca.
Of course. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us on this journey of Under SF Curiosity. We both have had such a wonderful time taking you with us on this journey through the communities of our beloved city.
Yes, and we can't wait to see how these organizations featured on our show will continue to develop and evolve to better serve the members of their communities. I want to thank all of our directors and producers and the wonderful writers of our show and the rest of our talented crew. And of course, I want to thank you all, and remember to stay active and aware of your community's development. We'll see you all next time for a brand new season of Under SF.
Under SF has been a wonderful experience. It wouldn't have been the same without our incredible lighting and audio crew, our set designers, and everyone else in the control room. Everyone has worked so hard to put on this production, and I am truly grateful to be a part of it.
This is Sam Chua
and Becca McHenry signing off. Have a great week, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.